Okay, here we are.
Here
Hi,
we
everyone.
are.
Welcome to another edition of RadioGunk. And on our Today Tonight show for Tuesday, February 8th, we're not going to go 2.5 hours like we did yesterday because I couldn't go to
Good.
sleep.
Ooga.
But we're going to try really, really hard to stick to the day's show. So if that winds up being an hour, hour 15, hour and a half, that's fine. But we're going to try and stick to
15
today's show. And John
So
Arm
bad. It should be 30 minutes.
gets to put on one or two cleaning out the computer clips to end the show with. So that's how we decided to run this, and we're going to try and keep to it because we realized that if Howard has another 75 to 90 shows to
70.
do for the rest of the year, that means we're going to do like 75 to 90 shows for the rest of the year. And that's more than we did in like 2 years, 3 years.
Several hundred hours.
Several hundred hours, yes. So we're gonna try really hard to we're gonna try really hard to stick to clips from this decade.
And is our SIM card big enough to have that many shows?
I don't think so. Yeah, exactly, Tiger Lily. Everything starts out with a plan, Mo. It's so
Dennis,
true.
you see him taking another week off in February?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
President's
absolutely.
Day.
Oh, absolutely. That's a given.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
given.
We're
It's gonna
coming
come
into
on,
that,
coming
that
soon.
time of the
Could be
year.
next week.
Where
It
he
could be
just doesn't show
No,
up.
that's too close. He just
Either
came
2
back.
or 3 weeks, then he'll take a week
I
off.
think it's the
Well,
Super Bowl.
Then his spring break. Then his spring
We
break
have-
in March.
Well, let's go over this. We have President's Day coming up in about a week.
Yep, he'll be off.
So
on
that's
that
going to be a week off. Then we have St. Patty's Day, and for some fucking reason,
I don't think he takes off for
week. No,
St. Patty's
he doesn't
Day.
take spring.
Yeah,
No,
he does
takes
now.
spring break. He
Takes
does
two
spring
months
break,
off.
which
will
is
be
the
right
end of
after that.
March into
Right,
April.
because ever
Absolutely.
since his divorce, he gets spring break off for some reason.
Of course,
kid's
because you know
the youngest
he's a
kid's
party.
20.
He's a crazy party kid.
Exactly.
Well, he was on Ashley's schedule for many
Yeah,
years.
absolutely.
Wait,
It's the school system schedule.
Toga.
his youngest kid is 29 years old.
He still uses
spring-
it to serious.
still break.
Well,
She enrolled
okay.
in college again.
I want you to know, right before we came on, we were all sitting here whilst I was doing work. The boys were singing Don Henley's "Dirty Laundry," and it's very apropos for
Yes.
Dirty
Schadenfreude. Song about
Schadenfreude
Schadenfreude.
comes out at 5.
exactly.
Kick 'em when they're
So
up, kick 'em when they're down.
let me tell you what we're going to talk about today.
he
We
half dead
are
yet?
going to quickly discuss the. Okay, should I?
Pelican on the
Okay, the
set.
reason I'm sucking on a lollipop is because, as you guys
You
know,
perverted?
I've been coughing a little bit, and so I'm trying to keep something in my mouth to stop me from
Wow.
coughing.
It's a Kojak does, Monique.
It's a total Kojak move.
Yeah.
Who loves you, baby?
And the worst part about it is the only Tootsie Pop I had left was grape, and I
I can-
hate grape
No
with
one,
a
no one likes
passion.
it.
I watched Kojak a
Is
couple
it-
weeks ago, and
Is
there's
it
a
grape
scene-
drink lollipop?
No, it's Tootsie Pop.
Grape drink?
It's a Tootsie
drink?
Pop. It's a Tootsie Pop.
Grape drink?
Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is Howard did happen to mention Joe
Bojack.
Rogan, but it was like the lamest, shortest little quippage
Ooh,
about
thank you, loser.
something that was such a big issue this past week. So we are going to talk a lot about Howard and his mom and his passive aggressiveness and how he's talking about her. We're also going to talk about the introduction of Jonathan Blitt, which is just this hairy animal that they've taken on to he's so popular from like Priest and Boy and so many amazing things. So we're gonna do just a snurch of a dive into Jonathan Blitt because they're introducing him to us. Not too dissimilar to when Brent was on the show for a year and a half before they actually introduced him to us.
Well,
And
Well, he was the producer of the wrap-up show. That was his actual position, which they wouldn't reveal. So he's in the background dumping stuff.
Who,
like
Brent
when I
or
would bring up
Blitt?
Brent.
Blitt-
Yeah.
When I would bring up Marcy Turk and they would dump it, that Brent's in the background giving you the hook.
exactly.
But Blitt has been on the show like 5 years now? I think
At
it's been, like,
least.
5 years, and he did do that was him, Priest and Boy. That's his level of comedy. That's him.
didn't
that
know
was
where it came from.
That was all him.
I'm gonna show you some other beautiful things that he's done in his past as well. So
He's
that
like
we can...
Benji. He's like Benji without the talent. I mean,
Oh,
Oh,
talent.
Jesus, that's
I don't need-
terrifying.
Talent. Without the sister.
Without the
Monique,
herps?
Fudsicle called you Mojack.
Anyway,
Somebody's
thank you,
gotta-
Loser Club, for the $5.
Biznick's got to do a
Eastlake represent.
Photoshop of Monique as Kojak.
Bond is gonna
Who loves you,
screenshot
babe?
the crap out of you sucking a lollipop. No, just don't make me bald. That would be
Biznick.
horrible.
Oh, sorry.
No, your face on Kojak's body in the 70s.
Todd, you know better.
I could tell you're lying, baby. It's written all over your Jewish face. And he literally said that. I watched an episode like 2 weeks ago. He said that to F. Murray Abraham. I could tell you're lying, baby. It's written all over your Jewish face.
Who said that? Kojak
Kojak said it to F. Murray Abraham.
F. Murray Abraham. Didn't he play Salieri in Mozart?
You and Mozart.
What? What are you talking
Oh,
about?
highbrow.
What's
Uncle
the,
Vanya.
no, what's the name? That was a phenomenal movie.
I'm obsessed with your dad and Uncle Vanya.
Okay.
I'm obsessed.
1%er.
Oh God, no!
Exactly,
It was a
elitist.
great movie, and the guy who Amadeus. Thank you
Amadeus,
so
that's
much.
right.
And
Of
don't you
course
remember
David
the
gets
guy
it.
who played Amadeus? He just
Yeah, I
fell
remember.
off the planet. Like he was
No.
so
We
amazing.
were forced to watch that in music class. I remember
Thank
that
you.
movie. Yep.
Thank you, Sin Lu Hu. Yes, thank you, Too
Armadeus. I
Sweet
just
Pistol
remember-
Plead.
I remember
Everybody
telling
knows what I'm
from war
talking
movies.
about.
I don't-
Yeah, see, he
I
won
love
the
that,
Oscar for
Mackie.
that. He was
Armadeus.
brilliant. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I made an F. Murray
Tom
Abraham.
Holtz.
Some of us were watching the Happy Hooker series. Thank you.
Look at David's got the name, Monique. It's Tom Holtz.
Yes, Tom Hulse. Right. So
Hulse.
what happened to him? He just disappeared off the planet. He just never worked again.
Bye
My
bye.
Tom Holtz is Amadeus, for Christ's sake.
He's like one of those guys that gets an Oscar like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh,
Yeah,
And they
It's a
instant
brilliant-
regret.
Well, no.
Roberto Benigni. He's the Roberto
Roberto
Benigni.
Benigni,
of,
like it's
Amadeus.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry I
am-
wasn't watching like reruns of 1969 Batman while I was
Hey.
while you guys were.
Hey.
Hallowed ground. Hallowed
What
ground.
year that came out in the early '80s, right? The Amadeus movie.
Yeah, so he must have got typecast as like dead composers or something, right? So there's a lot of roles for
Yeah.
that.
No, Mo, the woman who deep throated the banana in Amadeus was the real star. I don't remember
go.
that.
There's a woman deep
Ah.
throating a
Oh,
banana.
maybe
in
now
that
you go check it out.
movie?
Yeah,
I might go watch it now.
yeah.
David pulling out a Timothy Hutton, who was in.
He's like
Secret
Timothy
Window.
Hutton, one Oscar and nothing after that.
Damn.
Damn.
Is that for
He was in
ordinary
Beautiful
people, right?
Girls. I like that movie. He was the star of Beautiful Girls.
And Ordinary
He-
People, that's right.
Ted Demi.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
we know something.
Secret-
We know a couple
Okay,
things.
let's-
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. See.
All right, well, welcome to my friends who are here with me, Mr. Xavier, aka Phineas, my Maserati does 185 whiskers. We have the Wizard of Blackface, and of course the Jackie Chair donning his new jacket.
Yeah.
So I tried to, he made one for Bon Jovial as well, and I still have it sitting in my living room because Australia had kind of banned everybody basically from coming onto their island. They also banned packages from the United States for a while, so I wasn't even able to ship it to him. So apologies in advance, but Bon Jovial has that jacket. Well, we'll have that jacket at some point.
Hope
in
that
the near
kid's still alive.
Okay, so let's start this shit show. Do we start with Jonathan Blitt? Do we start with his mother? Where do you want to go?
Mother. Let's start with the mother. Let's go with
Let's start with the mothers. Yeah.
That's a treasure trove of
It's a real
conversation.
cornucopia of conversation.
Cornucopia. Yes.
Ooh,
So let us
It is
a
so much
plethora.
to unwrap.
There's so much to unpack in this whole thing. Yeah. Okay. So just give me 2 seconds here. Let me set up the clip.
Thank you, Nan66. Beautiful Girls. Watch it. It's the Ted
No,
Demi
we're not
movie.
45 minutes in.
We're 9 minutes and 58 seconds in. Why? What
I
happened?
think someone's being a little snarky.
Yeah, we got this snarkiness going on there.
You know that metric system will screw your head up.
Yeah. No G Canada. That's like right. That's 45 parsecs in right now.
Cindy Lou Who with a very reasonable request at the bottom.
What?
Anyway, we can get Ray Stern as a guest on RadioGunk.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right after Marcy Turk, Cindy Lou Who.
As soon as she's dead, I'm pretty positive we'll be able to get her on.
We've Marcy booked for next week.
Sure,
Okay.
why not?
So let
Anything's
us
possible.
start with the first mom thing. So okay, here we go. Here we go, my friends. I'm gonna have to lower it because Bon's gonna give me take a shit fit.
I'm so depressed. I mentioned yesterday on the air that my mom's not doing well.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, Rob
Yeah,
Zombie
we hear it.
and
She's just in a lot of pain, physical pain. And
Rob Zombie's appropriate.
I've consulted with so many doctors. I almost feel like I'm in the medical community because
I was going to say, yeah, you're consulting.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I'm consulting, and the thing is, I don't know anything. I flunked science almost. Biology.
We know.
It's even like when, people talk about Joe Rogan and that whole controversy.
See, this is how he segued into the Joe Rogan controversy because he's upset about his mom and he's upset about people who don't know anything about medicine. So that's how he slowly wormed his way.
How did we get here?
What?
Why are we watching Lolita?
What is that?
I don't know. Who put that? Oh, Xavier put that out.
That's hilarious.
Who did that?
I have no idea how that pornographic slide got in there.
Yeah, Cindy Lou Who's like, where's Fred with
That's
the
a
funeral
great piece of cinema.
organ music?
Okay. Once again, I will have to add my thing to the stream, you motherfucker.
It's the first show.
See, now we have a good movie to talk about.
What?
Lolita.
Hey,
It's better
you know
than
what?
Amadeus shit.
What I'm wondering, guys, is why didn't Howard give his mom the education of Robin?
I was gonna say yes.
So that
Exactly.
Can't
that's-
Dr. Sarno solve this problem?
Yeah.
Hey, that was the other
Exactly.
thing. Give him a pamphlet. If he gives her a pamphlet, her back pain will go away.
Shit, just give her the Oh My Dog book.
Gift descriptions.
That might
Hey,
help.
give it all my dog.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
put one of those big collars around her neck.
Should
she
should
can't
Ray
scratch her
pee in the
balls.
corner, or should we bring her outside every day?
Exactly.
Beth, get ready to throw yourself down that staircase.
Isn't
That's
that
the
like
funeral.
the same? Like the thank you.
Thank
for the
you.
commercial.
This is Suck Up the Vacuum from the forum. I'm also too retarded to use PayPal and donate to the forum. Please use this for the Super Bowl pool.
So
Now I can quit my paper route.
Yes.
the,
And go Giants in the upcoming draft. Okay,
So-
brilliant, Tone Cat. Thank you very much. I will add
so
that
are we
to
gonna
the
send
pool.
are we gonna send a deli platter?
I love a good deli platter joke.
Oh, we should 1,000% send a deli platter.
Send a deli platter.
I
I
do
could just
love that.
drop it off in his driveway. At the end of his driveway. Burn into the fence.
I do
ring-
love
don't-
that.
ring and run a
yes,
deli
I
platter.
remember secrets.
Pastrami, some meat.
Sucrets.
Sucrets. Such a weird word when you say it like a couple of times. Sucrets.
Sucrets.
Just saying with some of those edible arrangements.
So okay, so Joe, so this leads into literally the minute and a half of Joe Rogan discussion. And as we all know, this is all that has been in the news, the Twitterverse, everywhere. Has been, well, if you're going to cancel Joe Rogan, you might as well cancel Howard Stern. And here's Howard Stern blackface, and here's Howard Stern talking about the Olsen twins, and here's Howard Stern fat shaming, and blah, 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 blah. So Howard does what Howard does best, and that is completely avoid the conversation.
Exactly.
So here's his take on Joe Rogan. I put it into two parts for no good reason other than, well, for no good reason, actually. There we go.
I'm like, why would Joe Rogan give out medical advice? I mean, was he a scientist? Does he know, does he know anything? Because I know as I'm researching.
I did my own research.
Oh, I love it. The whole I did my own research. I was talking to someone who
No, you weren't.
was sort of sounding in. They took the vaccine, but they were sort of, there is. They were telling me that he did a lot of research and he figured out. I said, I know that guy. Isn't he in real estate? What research is he doing? You mean he read some articles on the internet?
And he
Why
doesn't
wouldn't
know
you-
where they came from or who they're attributed to. He can't read studies.
Yeah, these are people who have ADD. They don't even finish high school, and they got research. But the whole thing with Joe Rogan is so silly to me. Even the apology, he just said, you know what? Listen, I'm a comedian. I don't know what he's a comedian.
I don't know
right?
what he is
He's-
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a comedian, and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
He did say that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
said it
listen to
several
it.
times.
His first apology is exactly what he said. He didn't listen to it. As,
Well, the
as
fact that
usual.
he even
listen to it.
apologized, honestly,
But you know what's so funny? Actually, the funniest part about it, before you say anything else, is that we have two imbeciles here. Robin
Yep.
gets taken in by every shuckster when she was
Every
sick. She had
shaman.
frigging shaman that
Shylock.
literally made green,
I love it. Dennis.
green
Just combine Huckster and
magnets
Shylock.
behind her ears. I mean, you name it. She did the most insane things that were completely medically debunked by everybody on God's green earth, without debate.
And a
Mr.
single woman with all the time and money on her hands
Correct.
to do that stuff with no
Correct.
responsibility.
Robin does
Absolutely.
supposedly have a medical education, as Chris
Supposedly.
points out.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've heard
She's
it
well.
many a
She's
time.
well versed
She-
with leeches.
Who would win in a nurse off? Robin against Ashley Stern.
Jesus.
By the way, do you think this has the only daughter Howard talks to is Ashley? Do you think this has him white knighting for his supposed nurse's assistant daughter that she's complaining to him about cluttered hospitals with people and COVID? And
You know, I
this is
wonder
him
about that.
picking-
Maybe she is. I don't know.
I without
I
a doubt.
doubt that.
She's
I doubt
overworked.
that.
This is her first year, and she can't handle the
I doubt
the
that.
load that's coming in there. And she's why do you doubt it, Dennis? Why?
I doubt
You
it.
don't think she's
because
complaining to him
means-
about that?
Nah, I don't. I don't think. I honestly think at this point, I think the kids just basically see the paycheck.
Just
They
Ashley.
could-
I'm not saying Deborah. I'm saying
Nah,
Ashley's the
I don't
only
think,
kid he
I
talks
think
to.
Ashley maybe
I
even
don't
done
think
with
that's the
him.
only kid he talks to. I think he talks to his kids.
Yeah, I think they talk to
I
him
don't.
on just a need basis at this point. They probably
Yeah.
try to talk to their grandparents more than him. I mean,
It's
they
a
probably
pay to
like
play
Ray.
basis.
Yeah, pay for play. They probably try to talk to Ben and Ray more than they talk to him. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly.
You know, I think through therapy, I feel like he thinks. Do you remember like a couple of weeks ago where he said, I don't know, he was listening to some stupid ass song and he was crying and he told his daughters about it. Like his daughters actually
yeah,
probably
yeah.
think he's psychotic. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like it's like,
absolutely.
ugh, there's daddy.
Well,
He's a
calling
drama
our
you.
queen,
favorite thing to
dude.
do
He's
is
a
to-
drama queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
He
talk
is.
to him
That's
about
all
anything.
he is. He's no deeper than a puddle.
There's
I mean,
probably nothing better than them goofing on him behind his back with the mom.
Honestly, when was the
Oh,
last time
God.
that there was a conversation between him and his daughters that didn't involve the words Cash App?
We don't know. We don't know anything.
Supposedly Allison
oh,
just purchased
John,
it.
can you get this, John?
What's that?
Get the clip of Robin on the show The Doctors. They confront her with the facts about cancer, and it's
I'm
super
sure
awkward.
Boff can get it. What network was it on, Debbie? The
CBS,
Doctors?
maybe? The Doctors?
Is it a talk show? It's a
It was a
round
network
table?
show. Yes, it was a network
Okay.
show on
What year?
CBS. Not that long ago. When she
Very-
had cancer.
Very clever title. Who thought of that? A lot of copywriters went in on that. The Doctors.
Bone Fluffy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
catchy.
brilliant idea. We will grab that clip.
I
and
will
we'll play it for
try.
you.
Because it angers me listening to these two low IQ idiots discuss anyone else. Because it actually is painful.
Of course it is.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
let's hear part 2 of his whole big discussion. Remember, this is all you get on Joe Rogan. This is it. Okay.
And I have no medical background whatsoever to be telling people what to do with their health.
And I'm choosing experts. They tell me they're experts. I don't find out
Yeah.
if they're experts.
That
Yeah.
makes no sense. ever.
What?
And I'm wrong. And go get the vaccine before you die. That's what he needs to say.
Tanunu beat me to it. You're getting stupider again. We're all getting stupider.
Exactly.
Well, I actually heard it live, so
I know you heard it live, and it's 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, welcome to our queue. That would probably be about all you're gonna get about Joe Rogan.
well, it's a lot of fear.
That'll show you, Joe. You go
Well,
hide
no,
in Texas now.
It's also fear because remember he doesn't have the reach Rogan has. He
That's
really
not even
doesn't.
close, Dennis.
Not even close. I mean, he's,
Not
you know,
even
he's-
close.
He's completely outmatched and he knows it. It's just he's just gonna. And plus, he also the flack he can catch. He literally knows this is a no win for him.
Well,
Yeah, I was looking at the number. Metallica, Howard build Metallica up, and they showed the whole Metallica show.
Yeah.
200,000 views. Adam Duritz by himself on Rogan, I don't know, 6 million views. That's the difference.
Exactly.
I think Howard's best way out of this, and we talked about it yesterday, is that he should support and defend Rogan. He should.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think
They're
that's
really
gonna be
kind
much.
of on the same
won't.
side on this. They are.
He won't. But he won't.
He
because
won't.
he's
He won't.
spineless.
Here's the thing: Rogan never takes a shot at Howard. I don't know what he has to lose, but he'll have other
Why
people
bother?
on who will bash Howard. Remember Ari Shafir came on and he just eviscerated Howard. It got on his radar.
Well-
Rogan never said one word towards him. Not one word. He never, and because he doesn't do a show where it's current. It's just like an interview show. But
No,
Rogan
Joe Smart. He
always
doesn't
takes
punch.
the high road.
Joe doesn't punch down, and that he knows that
Exactly.
going after Howard at this point is punching down. So
He doesn't
he's got
have to.
nothing to gain by doing that.
But he was a super fan for a while. He was very, very
Well,
hurt when Rogan said he hated women.
and now he has like tenfold the audience. So why would he care?
You got to
Yeah,
remember,
exactly.
I played this clip on here, and I'm going to bring it back again. I can't emphasize. Howard accused Rogan of ripping him off
For what?
in
accuses
2004
everyone.
on.
How?
I know, but Rogan considers
And that they're
himself
both bald.
the police of the comedy police with what's the Hispanic comedian Dennis Leary and who's the Hispanic
Not
comedian?
Mendez.
No, oh God,
Mencia?
damn it. Yeah, yes, Carlos Mencia. That was his big thing. He challenged him on stage. And Rogan's obsessed with Jay Moore. He's obsessed with catching people, comedians stealing from other comedians. And so when you call him a thief, it's like the worst thing you could say to him. So he accused Howard of taking a bit from his show to use it on Fear Factor. And nobody talks about this. And Rogan has not been on the show
what?
since.
Joe
Howard
had nothing to do with the bits on.
I
and
know. Well, that's who
I'm
you
very-
deal with. Everyone rips
I'm
him
very
off, right?
friendly with the people who did the bits on Fear Factor, and Joe had nothing to do. Joe,
X, I will play you the clip tomorrow.
no. Yeah, but I'm just saying right now, firsthand, Joe had.
I
really
believe
nothing to
you
do with it.
100%. I know.
In fact, and the only thing that Joe would do is like when in between with setups that he would eat like the Madagascan cockroaches and stuff, as a goof.
That was the everything's ripping, how everyone's ripping me off era
Fuck
of Howard
Howard.
show.
Yes, it was.
Right.
Walking Tall. Thank you so much. I was listening to a podcast today, and they kept referring to Robin Quiver's Sally Jesse Raphael incident. What's that about? Are you talking about Sally Jesse
Yeah,
Raphael?
she was on the talk show, and
Oh,
Sally
right.
Jesse-
She was on that talk
Yeah.
show, and
Yep.
there were people in the audience that were definitely set up for her to talk to. There were several
As it
black
always
people in the
is.
audience that were kind
Yeah.
of antagonistic towards Robin about, how is it that she can be on a show with somebody like Howard, who was clearly such a racist. And she completely defended him and his right to free speech. And, she's just there as a sounding board for him.
And
And,
Linda Ronstadt.
she understands his right for free speech. That's basically what that was about, right? Am I
I love
wrong?
the irony in
Yep.
that. The irony in
Linda
that
Ronstadt.
now.
but every talk show had plants in the
No, it
audience.
wasn't the
That
Linda
was
Ronstadt. It was not the Linda
was
Ronstadt
different.
thing. That was on
It was
like
Sally Jesse Raffi. Yeah, it was. They're often.
that was like
That
on
was
one
on
of the
Tonight
Tonight
Show.
shows or
On
something.
That was on
Leno,
the Tonight
yeah.
Show.
She was the second guest after Linda Ronstadt.
Right. Okay, so then after this little discussion, he went back into talking about his mother. And when you actually, Dennis, wrote it on the thread, I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me that he said this.
No, he did.
So before we get to the Jonathan Blitt shit, let's continue with the mom thing and what he said about her. All right, here we go.
Play
Ooh,
the
I got to
zombie
the
music.
Tootsie
Thank you,
Roll.
Cindy
But
Lou.
I'm dealing with my mom, and I'm trying to make medical decisions, and I realize I'm not at all qualified to make medical decisions. I just want her to be better. And so, I turned to Dr. Agus. I turned to Dr. Schlafmitz. I turned to Dr. I can give you a list of doctors that I'm
Oh, you
consulting
can, but we
with
don't
who are
care.
all wonderful people and have been so helpful to me. But, oh, my
That's
God.
the job. That's the job.
And then when I get on the phone with my mother and she's like, last night I'm on the phone with her. I don't and I'm like,
That must rip your heart out.
It rips
Oh,
my
right.
heart out. I don't want my mom to be uncomfortable. And
I don't
just
think it
wanna
does. I think
fix
it's
her.
an excuse for you to do that.
And,
I-
I think like with my mom, a lot of her pain is psychological
Yeah, it's
pain.
mind over
Like she's
matter.
just
Yeah,
depressed and
94
stuff.
years
And
old.
Yeah, it's
very-
magnified because everything's miserable as far as she's
Someone in
concerned.
the
And no, it's
90s
more
saw in
miserable.
their head.
Yeah. And, when you're a 94-year-old woman, you don't want to hear your pain is psychological. You just want your pain taken away. And
That's right.
and sometimes nothing works. But I'm just so drained and depressed, and it's all that's on my mind. Like Beth said to me yesterday, did you mention your mother on the show? I said, I did. I didn't want to. She goes, I get it. It's all that's on your mind. And you talk for 4 hours, and it's like, I don't know how to dismiss it from my consciousness and like turn off that valve where I go, or turn on the valve that lets me block. I've always
I don't
been
think there's a blocking valve.
mechanism.
It's always
Jesus.
Yeah. Now, this is the way he is when she's a little bit sick. And I'm not necessarily sure she's in the hospital or what's going on right now. Because he did happen to mention on yesterday's show that, she's not there to give my father his lunch. So I'm assuming that she's in the hospital.
One would provide a detail or two, don't you think, when you're telling this story? Maybe fill it in.
Here's the crazy thing. I think that there's
guessing.
a little bit of a guilt complex going on there because there's no way in hell he's going to go visit her in the hospital.
Nope.
No.
He's not gonna, nope.
He needs COVID to last as long as possible, and it's part of it is to not have to visit anybody in the hospital is right under the umbrella. By the way, thank you, Cindy Lou Who. She says, I used to think that in exchange for daddy's funds, Howie's daughters used to require to refer to his wife as Mama Beth. How about Grandmama Beth now?
Yeah.
Right.
Step grandmother.
I mean, it's so funny how he says he's thinking about is his mother, and yet in half an hour we have the incomparable Jonathan Blitt come on, and his fake guffawing never stops during
That's horrible.
Jonathan.
But we're getting there. We're getting there.
I know, but it's amazing how it really isn't on his mind. It's truly not. It's just all fucking.
When you play with Rob Zombie to go over it, Dennis.
Exactly.
I don't think I'd hardly say.
Okay, so yeah, we can feel bad for him, Nancy, and we can feel bad for the fact that he's in pain because of his mom being in pain, and I get that.
No empathy with Sarah Beth.
I feel
But
bad
wait
for
until
the
you hear.
parents, not him.
Wait, you just have to hear the rest of the mommy clips. Can I just play the rest of the mommy clips?
Okay.
It's
Do
literally
it.
only 2.5 minutes long of total mommy clips, but let's do the first one.
And my fantasy is always that someone just takes over and just handles this for me.
That's right. You'll find the key, the answer, or the person.
I just want a mommy to take care of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to be free.
Mommy.
Hey, here's the kicker to this story. I'm no spring chicken. I probably only have a few years left myself, a couple of good years, and I kind of want to enjoy them. I don't want to be burdened.
You watch.
I remember
14
when
hours
my
of
parents
TV.
were in their 60s. They weren't worried about anybody.
Yeah.
No.
They didn't have all this to deal with.
My grandpa was gone. My grandmas were gone. That's
They
it.
took a quick exit and gave them freedom.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think once in a while my mom would send a care package to her father. That was it.
Burden. So now his parents are a burden.
He wants to be free.
Wow.
He watches
Wait,
14 hours of
needs a
TV a day. I'd say your time is your own.
It gets
Wait.
better.
He needs a mommy. I mean,
He needs a
seriously,
mommy
what
to
a
take
king-
care of
what
his
a king
mommy.
baby. What a king baby. My
He
God.
needs a mommy to take care of his mommy.
Oh, good Lord.
I
Think
mean,
about
he's
that.
loaded. Why don't you just give his sister money to take care of the shit for him?
Probably
You know what? I
does.
gotta believe his sister probably is taking care of it, but
He's the one that's going.
he
"Wah."
feels the guilt as he should, because he still makes fun of them. He still makes it like
Professional
the
victim.
fact that he has to pay monetarily for them to survive, even though I'm positive his sister is putting in more manpower than he ever will.
Okay.
I think so.
So
I think so. Let's just
Ellen
listen to the. Hold on. Let's just listen to more, shall we?
Oh, no, there's a question. Ellen's not homeless.
No, Ellen's not homeless. She never was.
She's not homeless.
But, I got this Jesus Christ complex when it comes to my mom. And it's like I'm the one who has to save her.
bullshit.
And so I'm racking my brain and I'm exhausted from it. I don't know what else to do.
Well, do what you did with Robin Salem.
And your
First of all,
boyfriend,
you should
Dr.
give yourself
Egg,
a pat on the back
Oh,
For what?
Right.
What did I do?
for hanging in there, trying
you with
as
your
hard as you
mother, right?
can,
You cunt.
enduring all of this
Wow.
and being there for her.
Unlike you.
I know. And my
Wow.
sister's upset, and I'm upset, and
Yeah, we're all upset.
everybody's upset.
We're all upset.
Because
Well
it
said.
would be great to just tune out and not be a part
Like
of it all,
you.
but you're staying there.
Oh, don't even bring up my fantasy. I want to tune out so bad. I really do. I just want to say, look, I've tried everything. You're on your own.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and God bless you. Let me know if there's anything that I should know about.
Yeah. Just in case there's something else you need to pay for.
The hubris on Blobbin there. I mean, seriously, that was just. I mean, you said the perfect word for what she really is, because she is. I mean, that is to make him seem like he's a hero when he's nothing but a heel.
Because you know what? Because this is what always happens with people with money. What they do is, their empathy is at zero, but they feel like if they throw money at a situation, that is them doing the best that they can do.
Right.
Yeah.
And so without any thought whatsoever about feeling bad about the situation and feeling for his mother, what he feels is that, why is the burden on me? Why am I the one who has to find the best doctor? Why am I the one who has to pay for like the private room in the hospital? Why am I the one who has to do this?
Because he's rich.
Exactly.
He's
And
super
your
rich.
parents. And they're your
And didn't she
parents,
put a thermometer up his ass?
which
So
which
maybe
he
it's a little
likes.
payback.
Yeah. Yeah, Robin
liked
absolutely
that.
hated her parents, but if you
You believe that,
recall,
Max?
her father had a big lawsuit with mesothelioma, and she insisted that she get her share of that money. Insisted. Even though she has more money than she can ever possibly use.
I think she's burned through a lot of that.
I think
I
she's
mean,
burned through a
let's-
lot of it too.
Do you remember all her
Monique.
like little real estate ventures that
Yes.
lost her shit ton of money?
Yes. What?
Yeah,
What?
she-
Johnny?
No, Azor says he wants to fix it with money, and he knows that he can't, and that's his problem. So how is money even a thing here? Don't you just
Because
get
you
the
want to get
best
the
doctor
best
available
doctor.
for whatever the ailment?
Well,
But
like he
does
did
not-
with Robin, he got
she's
the
on a-
best cancer doctor you could possibly find at Sloan Kettering. He used his clout to get that for Robin. He probably paid something towards it. I don't know how it works with insurance when it comes to cancer and
Yeah,
long-term
I got a
care.
feeling.
Is best doctor subjective? So you're going on referrals from your
there's-
rich friends, like
From Dr.
what
Argus,
is-
right? He probably called
Yeah.
his
Oh
doctors.
God.
He
Dr.
probably called
Argus.
all of his doctors,
He
to
knows
find
good
out who's the
doctors?
best. But
You think he
know
called
what?
his
Honestly,
private weatherman?
it's kicking the can down the road. That's really
Yes.
all he's doing right now. It's palliative care. And, he knows that it's coming to an end. And so
He can
he's
finally
feeling
be
the way
free.
but he doesn't really feel that bad.
But even here, he's thinking about himself. I mean,
Well,
let's
listen
face
to the
it.
last clip.
Right,
It's
and this
11
is- this is-
seconds.
right, this
And
is
then we'll
what-
talk about it on the other side. It's 11 seconds. Just hang on.
Oh, yeah. Guess my parents kind of ruined my childhood, and now they're trying to ruin my golden years. It would be consistent.
Okay.
Wow. I just wow.
Just wow.
I mean, seriously. I mean, this is King Baby like personified. This is a man that has more money than he can spend in
And
his
time,
lifetime.
Dennis.
And time.
Along with it, he is 95% of his year is
Has a
free to watch
home-
transvestite television. 14
But he
to
has-
2 to 14 hours
has
a
a
day.
I am
giant
Jazz.
home.
Yeah.
I am Jazz. He has a giant home in Florida that is like 18,000 square feet on the water.
That
And
could
he's
solve the
crying.
homeless problem in Seattle all by itself.
Can't cry.
He literally has the square footage that he could bring, like a little hospice type of wing.
Seriously.
Any
Not
of his
even
homes.
And never
Yep.
see
and not
them.
even and
Never
never
even
even
see 'em.
notice them.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it
Oh,
wouldn't even
absolutely.
like affect his life in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it'll never happen.
It's like a hotel.
Of course
I mean,
not.
literally, it's like a boutique hotel. That place is so big.
Yeah.
But for all you people who've lost your parents at a young age, even in your 70s, your 60s, your 50s, your 40s, and I have friends who lost their parents in their 20s, this is an insult to all of you. His parents, he's 95. His dad's going to be 100. It's a long time to have your parents. You
A
get
long
no
time.
empathy from me. Anyone?
No,
I mean,
zero.
my dad died at 75. I mean, he should have lived longer, but that's kind of normal. I'm not, that's who feels sorry for this? You've had your parents for a freaking century.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he only sees him as a burden. I think it's just shtick. It's lazy
It's also
radio.
shtick. Yeah, yeah.
It's all low hanging fruit.
He's
Type
a
of stuff.
professional victim, Max. That's what
Rather
they
than
do.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
actually
Smarter.
come up with something creative and funny, he goes back to the well.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is he knows the well's about to run dry.
Yeah,
Plus-
let's make mention while we're at it, and this has nothing to do with the show, but let me share the screen really quickly just for a hot minute, so that
Is
we
it
can.
Lolita again?
Oh no, I didn't
Yeah,
do that.
let's-
That wasn't me.
Lolita.
Okay,
But
I thought I was right when I heard it on the show this morning,
Hey, it's okay.
but look at where we are now.
Let's take Tiger
This is
Lily
the
as
Al
gospel
Michaels
here.
interview. Look where we are, Xavier.
Okay.
Look at where we are. Oh,
Okay.
is it not here? Hold on, hold on. I'm
I
so
can't
sorry.
see nothing. All I see is you.
Okay.
My brain hurts.
Here we go. Look at where we are. Anyone want to guess?
What do you mean? Where are we? What do you mean? Where? Oh, in the show. In the show. Or...
Oh,
He's in
okay,
Florida
okay.
now.
We're
in
in Florida.
Florida.
So that's why you had the week off.
Dang. See?
See,
That's why he
because
was
I
freaking
heard him
out.
this morning saying to Al Michaels, "Yeah, but look at me. I'm sitting in a basement, with all my guitars around me." And I'm like, "Guitars? He doesn't have guitars around him
Except
by
in
the bowling alley."
Florida,
cool
Florida,
guy.
Except in Florida.
Florida, Florida.
I think he's fooled us all. I think he's in his granddaughter's
Yeah,
room right now.
okay.
In San Francisco. in
No, this
Oakland.
is Palm Beach.
So yes, welcome to Florida. Howard is.
Thanks for bringing the cold weather, you bastard.
Freezing.
I hate you.
In the old days, that would have been like a week's worth of material.
Yeah,
Now he's like-
totally.
Now that he's like, he pretends that people don't know where he is.
Yeah.
RadioGunk exclusive.
Yeah, he's in
We
Florida.
cracked the code. We cracked the wig code.
Well, because I was like, does anybody know where he is? Because I haven't seen any clips from this week. And and then all of a sudden the Al Michaels popped up this morning. That's the
Yep.
only clip they have played so far from the week.
Hey, Zors.
Yeah,
Living in Florida, dressed for New York.
Always. Always. Even in the summertime, he still wears that same stupid jacket. All right, do we want to talk a little bit about Jonathan Blitt and who this
Sure,
person
why
is?
not?
Okay, so all of a sudden, along comes Mr. Blitt, and we're all like, who the hell is he? And now he's making his, I guess, official introduction into the world of Stern. But let's just look really quickly at who he is.
Yes.
I found him on a website called findyourdreamjob.com.
Oh,
And
I thought it was unfunnyhack.com.
on funnyhack.com, exactly. So on findyourdreamjob.com. Hold on, let me see if I can blow this up just a snurch.
Oh, but that Eric Andre guy was on a contributor to Howard too. Like, it's all you gotta.
Yeah,
connect
well,
the dots.
actually, even worse, this is a Mike Trainer find. To
Oh,
make
is it
things
really?
even worse? Yes, and dear God, I have more reasons to despise him.
So he has himself up here as a freelancer. He is a ready, Johnny. Here's what he is: producer, writer, bon vivant.
Oh God.
All-around good guy. Right. So here's what he was. He was a producer for something called Starvival Season 1, and that was
Season 1, the
9/15
only
through
season.
current. Supervising field producer on the Eric Andre show for Season 4. Supervising what's supervising producer?
It's bullshit
don't do any
title
work.
to give him. It's like
Xavier.
a
No,
fifth
that's like,
writer.
the showrunner.
Supervising producer?
Usually, yeah.
Okay. Ladylike, Season 1. Post producer for the Ed Bassmaster show.
Who?
Okay, right. On CMT. Writer for the Ed Bassmaster show.
Oh, it's a fishing show.
Are you kidding?
Is it or is it? Oh, it's on CMT.
No,
It's got to be
that's the
Country
fishing
Music
show.
Channel.
Oh, that's
CMT.
funny.
It's got to be.
Fishing
I thought it might be
That's
like
funny.
a joke.
Story producer for something called Monument Guys. Supervising producer for World of Wonder Productions. Writer producer of Bravo's This Can't Be Happening pilot show. Supervising story producer for something called Wild Bucks on A&E.
Right on.
Writer, creative consultant for the Herbert Brothers, which is a Zigzag production on A&E. Then he did a couple of things for MTV and VH1 as well. Starvival Hidden Cam Pilot, True TV Presents World's Dumbest, head writer for Totally Clueless, which was a pilot, producer writer for something called Mind Games, which was a pilot. Obviously, things that went nowhere.
Well, nowhere, yeah.
Consulting producer for I Get That a Lot.
Yeah, you know what that is? That
Season 1.
was like an imitator when you look like a celebrity and they come up to you and say, I think it was I think it was that Howard guy was on there too. That the guy looks like just like Howard. I get that a lot.
But the one thing he was known for was the writer-producer on-air talent for an MTV show called Boiling Points.
Never heard of it.
Me neither. So I had to take a little look-see around for it. And basically, it was like a New York show, a New York-based show for, how far you can push people before they get angry at you and tell you to go fuck yourself. And if you don't get them to get angry, they get $100.
I can't believe you don't know that. We're all still watching MTV. You don't know that, John?
As Jonathan Blitt said, it got so bad in New York City that we couldn't even do the show anymore because everybody recognized us. I'm like, I never even heard of it.
No one recognized you. They just hated you. They just
hated you, a hairy animal-like face. And, so then I started doing some more search on Mr. Blitt. Well, because it just, you know the way we go into these rabbit holes. And so, and then I came across a...
swarthy. He
is swarthy. He is very swarthy.
Howard's type.
Yeah, he's got that real... You know what he looks like? Wait, hold on. Let me give you a little. So he did this TV show, not a TV show. It was like a YouTube show. It was called The Seroffs of Santa Monica. And so let me show him to you, and then we can talk about who.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is the show.
Why are we doing this?
To torture ourselves, because that's what we do. So let me go to it a little bit. Okay, hang on.
It's good to be here.
How'd you get a copyright for this crap?
Hang on, let me give them to you.
Come on, Jasper, you know we ain't trying to hear that.
So basically what this episode is about is that they have this monkey lamp over here.
That is a racist monkey lamp.
That is a racist monkey lamp.
The audio's horrible, the lighting's atrocious.
I'm deeply offended.
Oh my
You
God.
invite me over with a monkey lamp in the corner looking at me.
That's a vintage piece.
Monkey.
That's antique racism.
Okay, so that's
Are they just using the camera mic for this?
Okay, hang on. Just wait
Then he
for
said it was racist and stormed out.
I mean, it is a little racist, a little ugly, but he kind of cute though too. He looked like a dark Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, baby and your dark friend. Well, right.
There he is.
Very right.
Okay, tell me he doesn't look like a young porn star, like every 70s porn star.
Yes, he does.
You have ever seen in
Well,
your
he's
life.
trying to be weird too. He's trying to put
No,
on
but
like
he
a
always looks like this.
But this is he wants to stand out. That look at how weird I am with the Raleigh fingers mustache and I mean like goose gossage.
Goose gossage.
He looks like an older Greg Brady after the syndication money went.
Yeah, I mean,
But there was
God.
Johnny Bravo.
There's
Why are
this
we doing
other
this?
one. It's just
George Hamilton tan.
I don't even understand. Here's like another web series. I mean, this is him. This is what he actually looks like. He's trying to play like some French dude.
Food and really
precision so talented,
and
Blitt.
taking the finest ingredients and making
guy
them
must go
into
through
something
manscapers
incredible
like
and not
Oh my God.
chasing after all the food superstardom. This is the answer to your question. Having a
This guy was my
sharp
favorite
knife, cobalt steel.
Look at him.
Wow.
Look at those
I mean, he's
eyebrows,
on a watch
dude.
list, right? He's got to be on a watch list, right?
Can you believe, Chad, that Jonathan Blitt is in your lives now? We've deteriorated.
What's going on with his eyebrows?
That's a strong game going on there.
He had a weed whacker accident.
I mean, there's no way he gets to security at the airport, right?
He is definitely the. Excuse me, sir. We're going to need you to step into a secondary.
Exactly.
section.
Step up to the side, sir.
You've been randomly selected to get extra
Yeah,
pat
congratulations. Take your pants down.
Who needs Artie when you got Jonathan Blitt?
Exactly.
Who needs Casey Armstrong?
That's
when you got
Who
Jonathan
needs
Blitt?
Casey when you got the Blitt?
Jesus.
That is the new face. That's the new
Why do
face
we
of
care about this
unfunny.
person again?
Oh, we don't.
Don't.
Okay.
We
But looking
don't
at
by
his
any
credits,
stretch.
they're literally telling you the show is fake. What does he do? He writes fake scripts. Why
But
would
he
you
was
hire
on.
this guy for any other reason than to write fake shit?
You
But
know
he was
what?
on for
Do you
an
think
hour
that
today.
Andre? Yes, he was on for at least an hour.
It was an
so-
hour. He was on for an hour.
Why?
So his job
What happened
basically.
to the whole D-list and C-list? And what happened? I thought that they were aiming for A-list. What's gonna happen to all that?
And
Well,
some
no,
B-list.
this is like this.
When you
Like
doubt.
I said, this is like Brent being on the show for a year and a
Yeah,
half.
and not knowing.
He does look
yeah,
like
Yep.
he does look like Mossad. He does.
does?
He does. He should be in every Israeli army movie that has ever been made.
Like if you took a still of him and tell me that was the guy they killed last week during the raid, I would be. Looks right.
Third in
play him in a
command.
recreation?
He's the third in command, top guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, all he has to
exactly.
wear is like a burqa thing.
Towel on his head and
my
he's set.
goodness.
Okay, so he is the staffer. So he now has a place in the sun. I guess he did something right
Got
to
naked.
allow him to now be. No, he volunteered to take the
Yes.
car and drive to Richard Christie's house, which apparently is like an hour and a half away. I don't know where he
Is
lives
it
now.
possible he was in Marcy's
He's a
improv
shoolie.
classes?
He's one of
It
the
is
guy that's
very
holding the
possible.
mic, right?
What?
He's got that peon shoolie position where they send him out to do the vulgar
Well, he
crap.
picked up the hat. He brought it to Sal's house. I'm gonna give you a little
How
update. Let me
wonderful.
give you a little bit in the world of Jonathan
Blitt?
Blitt. Let me
Blitt?
see. Do I have it set up yet? No. All right, give me a
Is he
second.
Jewish?
You think?
What do you think?
Is he Jewish?
I don't know, man.
Captain
don't-
Mr. Captain Mr. STFU. He does have some Brad Garrett in him, like a young Brad Garrett.
I still give him more. I give him more. Who's the guy? Ron Jeremy than I do Brad Garrett. That's all.
Well, everybody doubts, your number, the 70 employees they have here. Well, there's your evidence. It's cretins like
That's all you
this
need to know.
that pop up.
And
Every
they're
once
so
in a
funny.
while,
They're
to
so
fill a
amusing.
day.
Howard loves it. Howard thinks he's like the funniest guys. Okay,
It's
He's
let's
not
petty
even
like
being
animal.
like a great comedian. They have no charisma either. You just don't like anybody.
Well, let's
know
listen
that
to
they-
how hysterical and how funny
Come on,
Jonathan
yeah,
Blitt
we
is,
got
shall we?
proof.
Yeah, let's get an introduction to Mr. Blitt.
So 45 minutes later, you get a car.
Yeah. So I'm an okay driver. I'm not the best driver. I don't really drive. I'm good at driving on, let's say, an island or in a convertible, but like a rainy day in New York, I'm not the best driver. So
Thank you for saying that, by the way. I'm
You're
so sick
welcome.
of dudes all saying they're great drivers. It's like, you know what? Based on what I see on the road, no, you're not.
Well, how is it that you're great in a convertible or on an island?
Island.
Yeah.
So but he could drive on Long Island on a sunny day. I don't understand.
There's
So he's
no
basically-
cars where he is.
There's no cars.
no civilians
No cars where
at
Mr.
all.
Blitt is.
You
Yeah.
guys saw my video when I went to 17 Squabble Lane. How many cars did I pass?
None.
Zero.
None.
That's what it's
None.
like all the time there.
Yeah. Well, no, but then no. But he has nothing to do with where. I don't think. I think he lives.
Oh,
in
Howard's
the
talking
Queens or
about how he
something.
drives around and looks at cars all the time. He hasn't left the house in 3 months.
No, but Jonathan
he doesn't
Blitt
drive.
doesn't drive, so he had to go rent a car and then go from Queens, I guess, to
New
Richard
Jersey.
Christie's house. And then from Richard Christie's house, he had to go all the way back to Long Island to go to Sal's house so that he could drop the hat off, which Sal was then going to jerk off into. So that's what we're leading to. Yeah, I know.
And we're talking about it.
I know.
See,
What's
they're
your
all-
story? Are you married? I don't even know anything about you.
Nothing.
No, I'm
I
not
mean, your
married,
personal
not
life.
married.
You're not?
Yeah. Engaged to a really great
You're engaged?
girl. Yeah.
I didn't know that. How come I'm not up on office gossip?
I don't know. It's boring.
Yes.
Because
Howard,
Howard's allowed to
I find
talk
that
to you
boring.
without asking
Yeah.
Gary.
John's
That's
a
why.
funny dude. Like, he does this stuff for love, meaning he'll do shit in the elevator in the building for no one. He's not recording it or anything. And one of his best pranks that he does is he gets on a crowded elevator, hopefully with a lot of females on it, and then he got one phone where he's talking to his wife, and he goes, "Listen, honey, I got to work late. I can't come home tonight. I'm going to be late. Yeah, I'm sorry. Kiss the kids goodnight. And then he pulls out another phone, and it's his girlfriend. And he goes, yeah, she totally bought it. Listen, I'll see you later on.
JB, classic Blitt in the elevator.
Laugh a
Jonathan,
minute on
what do you
Blitt,
think
huh?
of next? By the way, can we talk about Sirius? What's going on with
Oh.
Sirius now, Monique, in terms of who's allowed to be there and the compound there, and who from the show is there, if anybody?
You know what? Everybody I know who actually works in New York City, because some of my friends don't have jobs, has to be in the office. So I don't know how it works with Sirius. I think pretty much everybody's office is open, and I think that new governor, who's not a pervert, is actually taking away the mask mandate, I think sometime next week, for schools and for all indoors. So that should really help things a lot. I think that'll get people back into
But
the
Howard
office.
will still find a way not to ever go back to that building.
It doesn't matter.
He'll never go back. He'll never go back.
Yeah,
ever.
What are you talking about? There's no reason to. All right, let's
Exactly,
go on
he'll
for a
never go
little
back.
bit more Jonathan Blitt and what goes on
Oh,
with the
God.
cum hat, because this is actually the most disgusting
Oh.
things of the day. And this is what carries
There you
the-
go.
the
There's
week.
your update.
Thank you for the opportunity, by the way, to transport this hat. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for doing such a good job. I mean, you didn't give
Thank
up in light of the fact that you'd rented the car and they didn't want to give it to you and the whole thing. So
It
He
took
was grinning
hours.
from ear to ear when he showed up here.
Yeah.
he's happy. Yeah.
Yep.
So basically what happened was he had to wait an hour or so to get his car because he booked the car for the wrong day.
Wrong day.
And I didn't even take a clip of it because it was so boring. I was actually nodding off while listening to the show today because this guy's voice is literally like liquid Ambien. Like there's nothing
Everyone's
about him.
is. Who's not that's left on the show?
I mean, honestly, I've watched like car crash videos that actually seem more humorous than this. I mean, this guy, he actually has zero charisma, zero comedy timing. I mean, he is the antithesis of funny.
Yeah.
There's literally he is verbal Ambien.
But then
I
when you
was
come in
nodding
there,
off
you have
too.
to kowtow to Howard. You have to be very, very careful to dance around the red flag list and say exactly what he wants to hear. They can't just come in there and guns a-blazing. So it's even more boring than you're even describing because they have a protocol they have to follow.
Yes, one may think, how is this not sexual abuse of employees, G Canada?
It is.
And it is. I mean,
It is.
In pretty
my
much any
favorite.
other world, it is. But I think, he holds his own standards for things there. I just, these are his employees. They sign contracts that
boss.
basically say if you are on-air talent, maybe that's why they introduced Blitt finally as on-air talent. Because if you're on-air talent, then that gives you a pass for the disgusting and vile things that they choose to make you do. I'm
I
going
got
to
a
think
nice-
on that a little bit because
Well, I
that
got a
makes
nice
sense
clip
to
for
me.
the end of the show. If that's not sexual harassment, I don't know what is.
But that makes sense to me now. That makes a lot of sense to me now that they would finally introduce this Blitt dude to the Stern world as on-air talent, which then would probably give them a pass on harassment. That's what
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with.
I don't know what deal with the devil the silent partner has as the
Just
co-CEO. That he has no accountability or beholden to human
accountability.
resource.
Co-CEO.
I've never seen a human being not have any human. He's no human. They have their own human resources. They have no accountability behavior-wise. There's nothing you can do to them.
There is no setting in any industry that this is acceptable. I mean, seriously.
I got a clip for you at the end of this. You tell me what's acceptable.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna finish off with the Richard Cum hat and
One last
Blitt
thing, Monique. Holden 190 says Jim and Sam are in person at Sirius now. So a lot of these people are back there. I know NBA Radio says that the producer lives in Florida and doesn't want to come back, and he keeps delaying it. So they're letting
really?
them back. And a lot of these people are doing their job from home. They don't want to come back. They're like, no, I'm doing the same thing from here. I don't need to, pay New York prices and come in there. And
there's something to be said. Okay, I understand the working from home thing. I do. But like in the industry I was in the garment center, like and doing what I did for a living, there's definitely no way you can do your job from home. I mean, you constantly have fit models coming in. You constantly have to look at the way shit fits on people. You constantly have people coming over to you with like things that they just printed out saying, you know, what do you think of this? And then you draw on it and say, no, take that button off, use this, do that. And it's so hands-on that I can't even imagine that job being done any other way. And yeah, do you have to communicate with like China and Manila and shit like that on things you do? Yes, but not for the initial stuff that you're doing. I mean, there's a lot of jobs that you still need to be in office for, and I think that and this is why his show is so horrible now, because they're and that's not saying it was so great before they left.
You don't
for
need
COVID.
him in studio. You don't need. There's nothing
There's no
improved
synergy.
about the
There's
show.
no-
Come on, this is
There's
Howard.
no enhancement.
Listen.
Him being home or not.
No.
Mo, when Ray passes away, he's gonna have someone drag a monitor to the funeral.
Yeah.
And they're gonna turn it on, and he's gonna give a eulogy via Zoom, and that's that. So you expect this guy to actually have any
Or
sort
they
of
won't have anything. They won't even have like a thing.
there's
They'll
gonna
just
be
have like a
little
shiva for friends
Vizio.
and family.
There's gonna be like a little Vizio monitor. Like,
Yeah, but do a PowerPoint presentation like he did for the Pelican
he's
Brief.
gonna be talking
Oh,
to his dad
absolutely.
via monitor.
What is the structure of Ray Ray Stern?
Sure.
Structure. All right, let me just finish off with Richard's cum hat and the ending of the wrap up of the bit.
are we doing?
And I did
What are we doing?
bypass. Okay, so okay, let me see if let me just make sure which clip this is. Hang on a second.
What did you bypass?
Hang on, just
Sal?
stay
The
with me.
Sal part?
Yeah.
Yep. Gag.
So here's the thing. So yesterday we found out we couldn't burn. It's so weird. There's always rules, but we couldn't burn Richard's Kansas City Chiefs hat, which I'm glad because this is way funnier. We can't burn it
Hysterical.
because it was in Richard's house and there were rules against starting a fire or something, something crazy like that. So we had to come up with a punishment. And so the hat now is at Sal's house.
How about we burn your scarf?
And Sal, I don't know exactly. We're going to find out now what he's done so far or what's happening.
He's had it since yesterday.
Yeah, there's John Blitt. John, what happened? What was it like for you? You had to get the hat
What
from
was it
Richard's
like for
house,
you?
so you had to drive
How was
where
that?
Richard lives.
I can't wait.
I did, yeah.
And-
It was a journey. It was first I rented a car and I accidentally rented it for the wrong day. So when I got to the car rental place, I had to spend about 45 minutes rebooking the car because the person at the front desk there was not very helpful.
This is how the show goes.
But it's so
This is-
stupid. Even their protocol, Monique. So let's get the guy who lives in the city has to get someone who lives in Long Island.
wait.
Why
How
are
about-
you even going through him?
How about FedEx it?
Yeah, FedExing it. I mean, literally.
Or that.
overnight
Or that.
This is literally something they could do
It's
on
so
Sal's
stupid.
phone.
Everything.
Why do you need to go? This is just filler. This is all. It's just filler
Oh,
because
sweetheart, because don't you know what's going to happen to the hat? So they go to commercial, and Sal now has possession of the hat that Jonathan Blitt literally took an entire day to go pick up and drop off, so
Please.
that Sal can now jerk off into the hat. Okay, and I saved everybody. I saved everybody from listening to that part of it
Saved
because
everybody, chose
when
it.
they came back from commercial, apparently Sal then took the hat and like hung it up like this and showed everybody all the cum that was inside the hat, and they were all like close to vomiting. They were like like that, and apparently they're supposed to now pass it on to Gary, who will then come in the hat. And I don't even know. John Hine gets a
That's
pass
my
on all this shit. I
favorite.
don't know why.
it's like
but,
Taco
Oh, he always gets a
Ticos.
pass. He's a Buckwall client.
No, we have word on that actually.
On what?
I have word on that. Mr. Whiskers was really supposed to talk to me.
Do you think Blitt has suddenly become a Buckwall client, and that's why he suddenly sprung onto the air? Which
No,
is usually
I'm
what
telling
they-
you, I think he's on the fucking air now so that he's not held
She's
accountable for these disgusting antics that are going
I'm
on
saying he's
air.
a Buckwall client.
No, I don't think so. I
There's
don't think
a
he does
form-
anything. He doesn't do anything to
Doesn't
warn
do
people.
anything. How can he be a
Buckwall
client?
That's what Buckwall does. Their
Ronnie-
people do
wait, wait.
nothing. They do nothing.
Ronnie,
they
wait.
get
All right, guys, there's your update on the hat. The Kansas City Chiefs lost the big game. The Bengals
It
won,
wasn't a big game.
and Richard's hat now is going to be defiled. The Kansas City logo will be covered in Sal's jism during this commercial break that's coming up. and we'll see what the weigh-in
Comedy
is.
gold.
I'd be curious. You think you can
After
get that?
you want to know that whether it gained weight after Sal's
I
explosion?
kind of do. I kind of
How disgusting is this, you guys?
It's
You
pretty vile.
chose the clip.
do. Sal, you're going to
Yes.
go do it during this commercial break?
Yeah, I'm going to do my best. I mean, hopefully I won't get pee shy again, but I should be fine. I'm going to go into the.
Do you need me
Do you
to
have
talk
any-
dirty
do you-
to you now or
No,
something?
no, not.
Okay, here's what I want to show you guys while I have this up. Hang on. let me
Moms
move
and
it.
minivans in cul-de-sacs. Great
Absolutely.
material for your kids. to
Yeah,
drive
let
to
me put
school.
this on for you guys so that you can see it. Okay, so this is what's going on. This is the show as we see it, okay? So here's the Stern Show at 7 o'clock. He talks about his mother for just a little while, and then at 7:15 they start with this Jonathan Blitt. Then Jonathan Blitt. Then Jonathan Blitt's stories about how it was to work on that MTV show. Then Jonathan Blitt's best bits. Then Jonathan Blitt and Richard's hat. Then fan feedback, which was bullshit. Commercial. Back to the show. Then Sal actually coming in the hat. And then commercial. So this took us from 7:16 to basically 9 o'clock. And then they had Al Michaels on. So almost 2 hours to tell us the story about how Jonathan Blitt went back and forth from Jersey to Long Island, and then Sal coming in the hat. This took 2 hours. That's what they did.
There's no
Rupert
business
Pumpkin
like
writes,
show
none of
business."
this is entertainment for anybody. I don't even believe Howie was this gross even during the Artie years. I
This
feel like
is,
it Mr. Evolved, right? This is an evolved Howard. This is
Evolved.
the go-to. This is the default.
Yeah. Hold on, I need
these
to say thank
brilliant
you to
writers you have.
Mrs. Beaverhausen. Nothing funny about this bit. Imagine your grandpa doing this. It's beyond disgusting.
He's a grandpa,
This
Beaverhausen.
is workplace
Yes.
sexual
He is.
harassment.
He is a grandpa.
He
Yes.
is. Thanks, Pop-Pops. Thank you.
Oh my papa, how good he
My
was
gay
to
papa.
me.
Gay. He's a gay papa.
He's a gay, feeling so luxurious.
Exactly.
What's worse is that this is the work of 70 writers and hundreds of man hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
And half
Escape.
the building,
crock of
too, Huck
shit.
Finn. Half the
Well,
building.
so Richard used to live in Queens, and I think then he and his
He's in-
wife bought a house, and
in
he
Long Island?
moved
This is my
to. No, it
favorite.
must be New Jersey because I feel
Jersey.
like. Oh no! They might
It's
have.
Long Island, right?
No. They might have moved to like Westchester or something because I know that Blitt had a real.
Ford in
Blitt
Westchester.
had like an hour and a half drive to get to Sal's house, but then there
Sal
was
lives in
traffic
Hicksville,
and it wound
Monique.
up
I
cost-
passed it.
wound up being like 2.5 hours or something
Sal
like
lives
that.
in Hicksville, Long Island.
Whatever
which
it
is
was,
about a half hour from the
the
city.
hat could have been FedExed. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Overnight.
Yeah.
$20.
Oh, Richard lives in New Jersey, says Dead and Dust.
Okay.
He can't live in Westchester, please.
I mean, think about it. This is like literally 1/3 of a week's worth of material for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Deborah's
it's-
infant daughter already has a restraining order against her grandpa. Brilliant, Sinlu. Yeah, see, Richard lived in Queens and had a one-bedroom apartment. He moved to Jersey and is renting a house over there because he needed the room for the baby. Don't they have 2 babies now? Did he not just
Yeah,
have
they have
another
two.
baby?
They have 2 babies. Yeah.
Yeah, he has 2 babies now. That's right. So, okay, see? So he's renting a house in Jersey.
Jesus, He's a dad.
He's a dad of 2.
Oh, come over here.
2.
Look at my son's pecker.
Still doesn't brush his teeth. He's really a gross animal. All right, so that's all I have for clips. See how we were able to do an hour-long
Nothing about
show?
nothing about Al Michaels. Yes.
Nothing about
That
Al
was
Michaels.
awful. Oh my god. Wait, actually, there's one point about the Al Michaels interview, which is so absolutely hilarious. Al Michaels is 77 years old,
Yeah.
and Howard is talking about him like, they're trying to push you off the air. Yes, Howard, because he's 77 years old and he sounds like and looks like an old man. I mean,
He and Howard have a very
he's on
similar
TV.
speech cadence, and they do this
Yep.
very veneer, speaking through the veneers. Michael's way better at his job than Howard is.
Oh,
as
well,
is.
absolutely. Hey, John, you'll appreciate
And way
this.
more
Al-
honest too.
John,
I
you'll appreciate
hate him
this.
and Chris.
Al Michaels is there saying that because of him that Sunday Night Football is so popular. No,
yeah.
Right.
It's
There's
because
so
of
many other
Everything else
choices.
That's it. It's the only thing to watch.
I wouldn't give a shit. Seriously, if Mr. Whiskers was like doing the play-by-play
Exactly.
on Sunday
Funny
Night
on the-
Football.
It could be Al Rosenberg doing it.
Okay,
People are
action.
gonna watch
Here
him.
we go. RGP. You're trying the wheel route.
Beanie Mac, I'll have you know you are the only member of the African American community in this country that knows that much about Richard Christie and his living arrangements.
More than
Really? I don't-
Rashawn.
Rashawn doesn't even know that much.
Rashawn knows nothing.
So in Arm's endeavor to not send me 72 clips at the end of all of these shows, because we understand that it's like, okay, we all listen to the show and it's like there's nothing to mine from this carcass. And yet we try. I mean, because this is, I made that vow at the beginning of the year that we're going to try and do these Today Tonight shows, and that they really should be an hour long. But John has to be able to get in a couple of cleaning out the computer clips at the end of each show. So he sent 2 really good ones for tonight's section. And Bon Jovial, can you make a note that we need like a little cleaning out the computer intro for when we do these particular clips? And the first one, I guess John called in to talk to
This is
Al
just
Michaels.
a cute moment. I say Howard's jealous.
It's so cute. It's a cute moment.
It's so cute. Dennis Miller getting Monday Night Football. So Al Michaels is the guest, and it's sandwiched between Ralph and KC. And they keep Ralph on, and he comments on what I said. This is just kind of a cute moment. It's not a fantastic clip, but it's just, I guess it's just cute to hear one of us on the show. And Al Michaels was the guy, and it's applicable to today. And so this is from 21 years ago.
Okay.
I can't believe that much time's gone by. Hear nothing. Are you playing it?
I hear like wind chimes. In the wind.
Monique, are you playing something?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I not?
It did
put
not
on?
play. It
No,
did not
you
play.
know,
I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you people that you keep
talking over stuff.
talking over the clip?
The stuff that's not playing.
We ain't
Yeah,
that
you're right.
bright.
We don't like dead air.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Kind of like you.
Yeah, tell
You
us
should
your
like him.
story.
And Boomer was horrible. He was horrible. Good thing you got rid of him.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah. And believe me, Al's happy he's gone. Yes, Arm, go ahead.
Al, you're not getting enough credit for being really balls up about making a chance in the broadcast booth. Howard, you know it's a good move. I mean, obviously it's going to be glitchy in the beginning. But Al, Al, do you and Dennis sleep in the same bed on the road?
No, because Business Affairs no longer has control over our show, so we get to stay in the best hotels.
Let me just say this,
separate rooms.
Al, I was reading a quote. Frank Gifford, apparently. Did you have to run a carbon-14 test on the guy before he went on?
What is it, Casey?
Hey, Al, I got a question. One of my friends just told me a rumor. Is it true that there was a fist fight up there one time?
Between who? Al and who else? Howard Cosell.
And what's the big guy's name?
John Manis?
Dan Deardorff.
Oh, Dan Deardorff?
Yeah, was there a fist fight?
Between who and who?
Between Dan and Boomer or something like that?
No. All right.
And you got to give Dennis Miller a chance, like he was saying.
All right.
And you got to give Dennis Miller a chance, like he was saying.
You like him.
He's only it's a little weird, but give him a chance.
Listen, what am I doing? I'm giving him a chance. I'm going to watch the game.
I don't think we have a choice.
Tonight I'm watching the Jet game.
You just can't.
I'm watching the Jet game.
You just can't bash him over 1 week.
I watched for 3 weeks. I've had this discussion with you off the air. I told you I watched for 3 weeks. I'm listening, and it's irritating. That's all. It throws me off. I like to listen to Al.
He was.
Okay. I mean, we know what a lying sack of shit he is about.
Him and Ralph always plotting off the air.
Well, absolutely. As
constantly
him
collaborating. I know.
Yeah, he's watching football.
Arm is Dennis Miller sucked. I don't even understand how he got that.
But
job.
Howard's jealous. He didn't. That's the job he wants. The once-a-week gig on national TV that he could never keep. And Dennis was on for 2 years. It bombed. Most people hated it. But it was a ballsy move by ABC to try to do something because he was really brought in because when the game's a blowout, you need someone that can fool around and riff. That's what they're worried about. Right. So they couldn't felt like, they were the year before I think there were tons of blowouts. So it was like, 30-point leads at halftime and like, oh God,
yeah.
And it's also Monday Night Football. There's nothing else on.
I mean,
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, when he would describe plays as, well, that's like when Hannibal left the Byzantine Empire up the Alps.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, what?
It was a little highbrow, a little too highbrow for Monday Night Football.
But he loves that though. Dennis
Vaughn.
Miller loves to do things. He loves to make a reference and a big word that you don't know because it makes him. He loves that you don't get it. He feels superior to you when you don't get the reference.
The fact that he
loves
lasted
it.
2 years is shocking to me.
Yes.
Honestly, that was
Well, he had a
horrible.
2-year deal, probably.
You're gonna watch football regardless of who's. You're not gonna not watch because he's on.
I'd sooner put the volume on low and use closed captioning.
It was bad. It would be like his cadence is worse than Socrates on a bender.
Horrible. All right, so what's this video that we have?
This one,
is
it's
a video?
very in line with what
No,
we're
we have
talking
one.
about tonight: sexual harassment in the workplace and human resources. And I want to know what place of business, of employ, I don't care how obtuse, and I don't care, gets away with this when you. We'll just play it. And this is Richard Christie streaking through the Cosmo launch party with a bunch of broads standing around who are not a party to this show, have nothing to do with the Stern Show. He crashes their launch party and streaks naked through a bunch of broads. How does
It's going to be an interesting ride.
What? Seriously, besides being a receptionist, what have you done?
I worked in the talk programming department for the last 6 years. I launched all of our partner stations here at Sirius.
Really?
And then, and most recently...
Richard's streaking! Richard's streaking!
Oh, my God!
Oh, yeah! Streaking! There he goes! He's completely nude! He's streaking!
He's running through the whole
He's streaking through the whole thing!
Get out of there,
Get out of there!
That's not a streak. Don't stop.
He has got the littlest dick for a guy who streaks.
His Brazilian wax looks great.
They noticed.
You should see the look of horror. This woman's over there. Look at her over there. She's horrified.
Oh,
now he's in here. Don't streak, guys.
Don't streak, guys!
Wow. Yeah.
So you're at a swimsuit launch party, Monique, with your colleagues, and that happens. We just laugh.
Here's the weird
Where can
thing.
you do this?
In 2006, we probably would have laughed. If I was hiring girls today and this happened, every single one of them would have complained to HR.
Everyone would have sued.
But
It's a
he's
different
new.
world.
He just got signed by Sirius, and he has a deal with the devil. They'll give him anything he wants, and he knows it. Whatever is in that contract, they let him do whatever the hell he wants. He is completely immune to the power of human resources. You can't. He just had a naked guy run through. Cosmo Radio has nothing to do with the show. It's not like they're affiliated at all.
It was acceptable. I mean, honestly, I think that the things that women tolerated in 2006.
Yeah, Melvin's right. Go look at Howard's face. How excited he is about this.
So excited.
Absolutely.
So what is this? 15 years ago? 16 years ago?
2000. Yeah.
16 years ago. Okay, so think about 16 years ago. Yes, I mean, was it ever acceptable for like disgusting men to rub up against you in, subways and shit like that, or what like Ron Jeremy did and things like this? No. But I think, I don't know, like people used to streak all the time. It used to be like a weird thing. I think it's disgusting. I can't even imagine that nobody went to HR after that and he didn't get some shit for it and we just didn't hear about it. I don't know.
No,
You know?
nothing
I don't know.
changed. Nothing changed after that happened. There was no change. Nothing changed.
Those women
Nothing
were
changed.
looking at my pecker.
He probably has a gross pecker.
Oh, absolutely.
He really thinks everyone is living in Howard's
Hey,
world. He doesn't
Dad.
realize how he comes off to others who don't give a rat's ass about Howard, how stupid and bizarre he comes across. Yeah, but again, I gotta believe that we probably snickered about it at the time. I never saw that, just so you know.
I
But,
never saw it either.
I have to believe that people thought it was funny.
I want to thank Sara too for she put the smiley face on his schwanz.
Oh,
thank God! Wow.
I sent it to her so you wouldn't get dinged, and she put the horse toothed it up with on his
Thank you,
Kansas
Sarah.
schwanz.
Thank you for saving us from Richard Christie's incredibly small pecker, which I need to see, actually.
Yeah, that smiley face was a little too big, if you ask me.
What is this? Rupert Pumpkin's got something up there. When Gary Garver was fired in 2006 after publicists threatened to see. Is that the reason? Huh? We had Gary Garver on, and the details are always very vague. What is that? Huh. You gotta probe into that a little more. It's a weird one.
Let's see. Let me see. Do I have Gary on my text machine? Let's see if we can ask him that.
Oh dear Lord.
On my text machine. If I don't, then forget this.
Today, Huck Finn writes, today 4 of those women.
Hi, random question. Were you fired because publishers didn't like you?
I don't have his phone number. I only have his email, so no.
You can poke around. No
Yeah, I'd
pun
be
intended.
interested in that. That's like a curious thing. So
Today,
why
Huck-
did Rupert Pupkin? Why did publicists threaten a serious boycott? Like, what was the reasoning? Was it because of Gary Garver? Like, so he was fired because of what? Like, I'm trying to understand.
Well,
We
it's
probably
like
didn't
Trump
know
and the
enough when we interviewed
insurrectionists,
him.
right? When you blame the insurrectionists when Trump ordered them, so you go to the source. It's
So
Howard
who
doing
do you
it.
blame? How do you blame? How does Gary Garver have anything to do with it?
I don't know, but it comes from Howard's show. That's
Let me see.
the.
In 2006, it was still a Don Draper Mad Men Wonderland of a world. I can't even hunk at a woman's breast at the office now.
I know, it's a sad world now. It's a sad
You
world.
can't go like this.
Honk, 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 honk. Huck Finn writes, today 4 of those women would have been psychiatrically damaged, and one might have actually
Oh
died.
my God! Absolutely, absolutely correct.
And rightfully so.
Monique, how many? You don't have to reveal any of your sources. Just be as nebulous as possible. How many lawsuits have you mentioned that Howard has thrown money to have his lawyers get thrown out?
Oh, there were
or
3. There were
make
3
go-
at least
Is there just 3, or is there more?
that I know of.
And you looked at them, but you can't share. I understand that. I'm sorry, but you saw them in black and white on a document that there was. His
No, I was
lawyers
told
made
by the person who handled it. So yeah.
Okay.
I didn't look at black and white documents.
I don't
did
know. I
not
thought maybe he
inspect-
showed you. I don't know
I
if
did
he
not
produced-
inspect the information. I was just
There was
told.
no manila envelope.
No, nobody sent me a
briefings
secret.
on the inside.
It's a top secret with a stamp on top of it.
You didn't meet in the park.
Exactly, had a little trench coat on. He passed it over to me. Reacher actually was in charge of it. He went to Reacher went from pickup.
That's what I visualized.
Go get the lawsuit, boy.
Columbus
Go.
Circle
Woof,
and
woof.
Okay, wait. Let's see what Rupert Pupkin has to say. Gary Garver's obnoxious interviews did him in. Sirius was still number 2 at the time.
written by who?
Howard's writers.
Fred and Benji. And
Yeah, well, Gary likes to
for
take
Howard
a
show.
lot of
Liberties.
credit for what happened during those times.
Did he assault someone or some shit like that?
Harassment interviews, Ripper Pumpkin.
He's too truculent to do that job. He doesn't actually have a sense of humor. He's too truculent when he interviews
kind of a
people.
prick,
He can't
to be
handle the goofing around. He can't. He's completely humorless. He's probably the worst at it. You know who was great at it? When Casey did it, he was phenomenal at that.
You know why? Because Casey
really
was
good
a
at
jock, and so your expectation was
But
that jock dude was gonna
Yeah.
be that guy, like he
had
just did.
He had a great delivery and way about him, and it was weird. Right after John,
I
he
can't
was
believe I
really good
didn't
at it.
turn on my I can't believe I didn't turn on my Pac-Man tonight. Jesus, what's wrong with me?
Too late.
Too late. It's over.
Too late.
Goes
It's
over.
over.
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
Okay, well that was tonight's show, and does he have any guests on tomorrow?
Yes,
Yeah,
he does. Oh,
Dana
big
Carvey.
ones.
Oh,
Dana,
that's right.
Dana Carvey and David Spade.
Oh, so timely, so relevant.
This guy's more truculent than Gary Garver at a Walmart, for crank's sake.
Wait a minute. So they're going to talk about their new podcast, right? And
Yes,
is Howard going
probably.
to say to them that he thinks that podcasts suck and
Yeah,
that
yes, he
it's
definitely will.
definitely going to
Definitely.
be a failing
yeah,
event
the whole time,
because
yeah. Definitely, yeah.
you make shit money and you'll never do anything with it?
Yes,
is that what's
the
going
whole
to happen
time.
tomorrow?
Yep,
Or is he just going
from-
to kiss their asses and you know,
And mention Lorne Michaels.
Lorne.
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 It's
Fred's
SNL.
neighbor in Amagasse.
Lorne.
Yeah, I
Lorne.
feel the
Lorne.
fact that people come in and get interviewed by a monitor is still fucking bizarre.
I know you
Lauren.
and Xavier, Monique, love Conan O'Brien. There's
I do.
actually I've listened to their podcast, and
What, you didn't want to put me into that bucket with you? Well, I
that?
do. I don't know about her, but I
Don't
do.
you told me you and Xavier both love Conan's
Of
podcast.
course, he turned me on to Conan. Thank you, Ida.
Well,
Thank you so much.
there's a really their interview with Conan's really good. There's a lot of I'm a
Who's
sucker
interview
for that.
with Conan?
Dana Carvey and David Spade.
Oh,
talking
you
him
listened to
about-
it. So how is
Yes,
that?
I'm a,
how is
su-
that
I'm a,
podcast?
I will totally admit I am a sucker for late '80s, early '90s Saturday Night Live. I thought the show was so good at that time, the Carvey, Phil Hartman years. So I'm not going to even pretend. I'm not going to hate on it because I love. So I that was a phenomenal interview with Conan. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, Whiskers.
Soon.
Yeah, Whiskers.
You know what would be awesome is if when
Are
Spade
you
walked
reading
in.
the?
Yeah, I see it, and I'm changing the subject. If when Spade walked in, if someone said, "Oh, look, a falling star,"
Ooh.
They're gonna compare hair plugs. They're gonna
Wait. Ask him how's Jillian.
So what's going to happen tomorrow is will they be in the Sirius studios whilst Howard does not?
No, no, I think they're coming from LA.
or is it just like Zoom versus Zoom?
That's a great
It's
question,
Zoom
but
versus
I'm going to
Zoom.
say LA.
Yeah, because he's in Florida now, so it'll be Florida to LA.
Florida.
That'll be interesting to see what goes on there. So now that we have the Florida watch, and we know that he must have gone down there, like a week before vacation, right?
Right.
That's why. Remember when the snowstorm was coming in, and he was like, "Holy shit! I have to get a hold of Beth. We have to talk about something." And we
That's
all
why he was freaked out.
surmised that it was because they were going to be flying out that day.
Yep.
So I
private
bet you he
plane.
moved it a day back so that he wouldn't get stuck in the snowstorm and not be able to go on his way to Florida. So there.
And that's
See,
the
we
worst
were
thing that's
right
happened to
yet
him his
again.
entire life. That's
We'll
as
be spelling stuff
inconvenienced
soon.
as he gets
Yes.
in his
that
life,
is
in his
absolutely
charmed
correct.
existence.
So, okay. So we'll look forward to talking to you guys about this tomorrow. Remember, truculent is the word of the day.
Yes.
I have started a Wordle thread in our...
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, okay, well...
Is it
we'll
word?
look
You mean
for it.
word of the day on this show? Because you usually rule that. So
I know, but truculent was great. That was a brilliant word.
I learned
for
that from
today.
Howard Cosell.
Beautiful word. I love it so
I
much.
did. I did till you called. I think it was.
You know what
Muhammad
word?
Ali.
You know what word Al Michaels used today? Imprimatur.
Oh my God! You got to pull it out tomorrow. You got to write out the
He used that. I was
Imprimatur.
very impressed. I was very impressed.
Oh,
All right,
Collinsworth
so
has always been imprimatur.
imprimatur. I love that word. Okay, so guys, we will see you tomorrow. I am thrilled that we got through the show in an hour and 22 minutes. This excites me to no end.
Tune in
And,
tomorrow for another episode of Radio Gunk Needs a Friend.
All right, wait, I have to find my outro. Hang on a second. Let me
Conan's
get there.
podcast was the only time Marcy Turk was ever mentioned.
Really?
Yes, Howard's interview with Conan. He slipped it in at the end. I don't. He. I'll find that.
Find that.
Never has she been mentioned other than that.
One more time when we clean up the computer, we can add that on. All
Yep.
right.
Yes.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you all. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.